What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So hopefully everyone is having an amazing weekend. I want to talk to you today about the Pure and why it's such a big deal for Lucid going forward and why it's even being compared with the Model S. I'm going to go over all of that fun jazz, but before I do, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that though, let's get right to it. So I think this is starting to have a little bit more hype, especially with what Lucid recently did tweet about this picture. So this picture does show a hardtop vehicle, which is a telltale sign of the Pure. Based on the Q2 earnings, they all did say that it's going to be by the tail end of the year. So I think that a lot of people were assuming Q4. So based on this and also Bear's Workshop, it does appear that Lucid is starting to work on the Pure in Q3, which is a very big deal. And again, to take a step back, I think this is why in Q2 earnings, they did say many times that this is a very big deal for Lucid. Not only is the Pure one of the most heavily reserved vehicles, but based on this, it does show that they are seeing the Pure as a stepping stone. So I see the Pure as a stepping stone to more affordable vehicles. So I really do like that. And personally, I know a lot of people like Lucid being a high-class vehicle, very niche. But I personally feel that they need to go the opposite route, because I know a lot of people love to say that we are similar in comparison to, for instance, Porsche or Ferrari, which is all fine and dandy. But in general, if we want to be compared with Tesla and beat Tesla, then in general though, we need to actually have a lower price vehicle. We're never going to beat Tesla out as far as production or even profits or anything like that, or even market cap. We'll never outpace Tesla if we do not have a lower price vehicle. And you can even tell that based on the Q2 earnings. I think this is why a lot of people were really thrown off by the Sapphire, because based on all of this, they all showed that a very common consensus that they needed to do a lower price vehicle. But then they come along and do that $250,000 vehicle. But this isn't that type of video. I just want to obviously focus on the Pure and why this is a very big deal. So there's a lot of articles coming out comparing the Model S and the Pure, and rightfully so. So I'm just going to touch on some very pivotal points, obviously insinuating why the Pure is a very big deal going forward. So as far as price point, just starting off with that. So $88,900 is basically the Pure, the starting version of that. So very cheap in comparison to the other models. So I think this is a very good deal because you do get the technology in that aspect, and obviously a little lower price vehicle. It's a win-win for customers, and again, it's one of those things that I think it's going to get Lucid's name out there a little bit faster than, for instance, higher models. So again, let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. In comparison to the Model S though, it is $106,000, so a $12,000 difference. I know a lot of people like to say if someone's going to get into roughly about $100,000 vehicle, they're not going to care about a $12,000 difference or anything of that, or even the EV tax credit. Nobody's going to care about that. I personally beg to differ. Like I said about the whole movement for EVs, there's a lot of competition that's going to be coming down the pipeline, for instance, even 2025, and a lot of which is going to be lower priced vehicles by GM, Ford, companies like that. So when it comes down to it though, we really need to act fast, get that lower price vehicle out there, get our name out there so we can actually compete with GM. So this is why a lot of people are starting to say now GM is going to be the one that takes down Tesla. In reality though, I want it to be us, because we have that technology aspect and we have a very beautiful vehicle, and we can easily do that, especially with that Pure. Similar to what even Peter did say in that Q2 earnings about it being a stepping stone. So in general, I think a lot of good things is coming Lucid's way. And one big difference and beneficial thing in comparison with the Tesla is the price point. Outside of that though, there is also the range aspect. So in comparison with the range, it does look like the Model S, the base version, is 375 miles. And obviously that's a little bit lower. You can have a little bit higher of a range of 405. And the Lucid Air Pure is 406. So I don't know if they just did that on purpose to have that one extra mile over and above the Model S, but again, it's one of those things very exciting for Lucid, another big accomplishment, and we already know we do have that higher range of 520 as far as the capability. So again, it's one of those things that we have the amazing technology, better than Tesla, and I think we need to take advantage of that. Strike while the iron is hot, if that's the saying. I don't know. It sounds familiar, but still. Moving on, when it comes down to charging time, that's also something that you need to factor in and can compare. So Tesla, as far as 15 minutes within 200 miles in general, that's it is okay. Lucid is 20 minutes and you can have a roughly about 300 miles range of a charge done in that time frame. So I think in general that's another big accomplishment for Lucid. Performance, so we do have a little bit better horsepower, but unfortunately our 0 to 60 is a little bit slower. So it's one of those things. Model S is 3.1 seconds 0 to 60. We are 4 seconds. So unfortunately doesn't beat the Model S in that regard, but still, when it comes down to it though, I think we do have that lower price vehicle that far exceeds the 0.09 difference. So again, it's one of those things, if you find that 0.09 difference is going to make that big of a deal for that 12,000, then maybe the Model S is for you. But realistically, I don't think the typical person will care about that. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. It does talk on as far as the full capability of both Tesla and Lucid in comparison. So it's not necessarily just covering the Pure and the Model S in this article. It's covering basically Tesla and Lucid. So in general, we already know we do have better technology. Just unfortunately, our 0 to 60 is still a little bit slower. So let me know your thoughts on that. Interior and exterior. This one is a little bit more mixed. Customer experience on the Lucid from the get-go has a little bit been subpar in reality, to be fully honest, but I think we are advancing at a faster rate than Tesla. So as far as the customer experience, I think things are getting a lot better, especially more so with that big update coming by the tail end of the year. There's a huge anticipation for that, and I personally feel that with them appointing that new VP for that customer experience aspect is going to be very good for Lucid and integrate a whole new level for in the customer experience. But generally speaking, I think it's a little bit more hit and mix. Some people either like the Tesla or possibly the Lucid, similar to what argument is with the PlayStation or Xbox for those of you that do play video games. It's just one of those things. Some people like it, some people don't. Obviously it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think about the interior and exterior of both the Tesla Model S and the Pure, and which one you prefer. So again, it is what it is. So I think those couple aspects as far as the look of it, the technology, the actual price point, and the range, those are some things that a lot of people really need to compare and realize that the Lucid products and the Pure are the right way to go in general though. So I think that there is going to be a lot of good things, and hopefully if they are actually ahead of schedule, that is going to be a very amazing surprise for Lucid. But still, I think if they are ahead of schedule, I think the Lucid stock should appreciate based on that fact as well, because like I said, the number of reservations around the Pure far exceed absolutely anything. So the market wants a lower price vehicle. I want a lower price vehicle. Everyone wants a lower price vehicle. Hopefully Lucid does deliver on that fairly soon, especially like I said as well in the Q2 earnings. It's just a stepping stone. So the Pure is going to be one of the first things that you get out there. The Gravity is also going to come out, be a good stepping stone for that lower price vehicle. So basically, a good way of thinking of it is that mid-size sedan that's going to be coming out in 2025 that is roughly around that $50,000 range. That's going to be the byproduct or the baby of Pure and a Gravity. So again, that's one interesting way of thinking of it, and I'm just coming out with that now. And this is why these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Obviously, you guys do your own due diligence and all that fun jazz. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And if you agree with me that the Pure is the right way to go, or on the opposite end, if you think the Sapphire is the right way to go for Lucid. So again, it's one of those things that some people like Lucid being a niche company, but again, it's one of those things we're always going to have that debate. With all that, hopefully, like I said, everyone's having an amazing weekend. Just take time to relax. And with that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.